What I primarily teach is mobile app development and computer programming. And in my Xamarin.NET MAUI class with C#, we create an application for both Android and iPhone in which the user can click different buttons to see different images of animals. So in order to do that, we have to have a bunch of images brought into the program of the different animals, and they should all be the same size. That's what we're going to do in this project. We're going to create a Photoshop document and import images of various animals, resize them to the size of our original document, and then export each of the layers out as individual files that we could then import into a software development project. I'm in Photoshop and I'm creating a new document that is 600 pixels by 600 pixels, 72 pixels per inch, and it's going to have a black background. I'm just going to click Create. So we want all of our images to be 600 by 600 pixels. I'm going to go to the File menu and choose Open, and I've previously downloaded 4 images that I want to use of a lion, a tiger, a grizzly, and an elephant. There are my 4 images open in Photoshop. I'm going to take the elephant image and I'm going to grab the tab here and just drag it down to its own window. And I'm going to grab the lion and drag it into that same window. We'll do the same thing with the grizzly and the tiger. So I have all 4 of those in a separate window from my document that I want to create. And that's going to make it easy for us to drag from a layer of one image into the layer of another image. Just going to bring this down a little bit. I'm going to drag it down where we kind of see our image much better. I'm going to take the grizzly image, and notice we see the background for the grizzly. It's just the picture of the grizzly. I'm going to drag it over onto my black document that's 600 by 600. And we'll name this layer Grizzly. So it comes in as a new layer. Now I need to resize that layer. So we'll go to the Edit menu, Transform, Scale. And I can grab the handle and drag it down. I want to make sure the image fits inside that black area, the size of our new file. We're going to add a white border all the way around it, so I'm going to have a little space on the left and right and top. I'm going to bring it down a little bit. Once I get in place where I want it, I'm going to press the Enter key. I want to do the same thing for the tiger image. Drag it over. Name it Tiger. Edit. Transform. Scale. Now if you go to scale and you don't see the handles, it may be the way outside of your image area. So you might have to drag down to find them. So I'm using the Move tool, just drag down, and I'm going to resize. Again, grab the handle. So larger files, you may have to do this through several different steps. That's about where I want it. I'm going to press the Enter key. Let's get the lion. Drag it over. We'll name that layer Lion. And again, Edit, Transform, Scale. Press the Enter key. And then finally our elephant. We'll name this one Elephant. Now I want to resize this. This is actually a pretty large image, and so I don't see the handles. I can drag, I can move and keep moving and find the handles and drag them down. But this is a really large image. I just happen to know that. So I'm going to set on the options bar my size to 50%. And now I can see the handles a little bit better. Just going to drag it over and begin to resize that. So this is a pretty large file, so I have to do several steps here. The elephant's starting to come into view. It's about where I want it. I'll press the Enter key. I'm going to turn the black background off, or you could delete that layer. And the reason I want to do that is I don't want to export that out to my 4 files. I now want to add a layer style of a white border, white stroke all the way around each of the 4 images. So on the elephant layer, I'm going to go to the layer styles and choose stroke. So I have this sized for 15 pixels. I want to do an inside stroke because I want nice corners, and I'm going to make it white. And a quick way to make it white, you can click on the color and enter FF for the hexadecimal value. That's pure white. But notice as it's giving me the preview here, I'm just seeing a little bit of a white border at the bottom and the top and nothing on the sides. And what's happening here is it's giving me a stroke on the entire image as it extends beyond the canvas size. And that's okay for now. I'm going to click OK because I'm going to show you how to fix this. I'm going to take my rectangular marquee tool and I'm just going to drag a rectangular marquee inside the image. It'll only go inside the image. And then go to the image menu and choose crop. That's going to get rid of all that extraneous information outside of our canvas. And notice now our stroke conforms to the stroke of the image. Now I'd like to put a stroke on the other 3 layers as well, and I could come in and choose a layer style for each one of those 3, but here's a little trick. I can hold down the Alt key or Option key on the Mac, and I can drag the layer style from the elephant menu down to the lion. And we'll see it has applied that to the lion. And I could then do an Alt drag to the tiger and an Alt drag to the grizzly. There's another way to do that, and that is I'm going to select the lion, hold down the Shift key, go to the grizzly. I'm going to right click and choose clear layer style. And now I'm going to come to the elephant and choose copy layer style, go to the lion and the grizzly, holding down the Shift key, getting the tiger in between. I'm going to right click again, and it's just time to choose paste layer style. So now we have our layer style on all 4 of those layers. I'm going to go to the file menu and choose save as. I'm going to name this one DO2 Animals, my last name of Hustedde, and I'm going to save it in my week 4 projects folder. In my week 4 folder, I added a subfolder called DO2 Animals. I'm going to put all of the layers exported to images in that folder. So here's how we're going to do that. We're going to go to the File menu and choose Export Layers to Files. Brings up a dialog box. I can browse for where I want those to go. I want this to be in the DO2 Animals folder. I can give it a file name prefix, so every file would start with a certain name. I'm actually going to delete that. I don't want a prefix. I'm going to keep my file names pretty short. I'm going to only export the visible layers. So remember I turned off that black layer, so that won't get exported. And I can choose the file type. Normally I'm going to use JPEG unless I have transparency. Then I might want to choose PNG 24. So do JPEG. I can choose the quality. It goes from 1 to 12. Now for web development and for mobile apps and things that are digital on screens, you don't want the highest level. That's going to be more for a print-based opportunity. I'm going to usually set this to about 7. That's kind of the higher end of a medium quality. That looks really good on most phones and web pages. And keeps our file sizes a little bit smaller than say if we were at 12. I'm going to click the Run menu. And we're going to see this go through the different layers and export them. And then we'll get a alert saying it was successful. Or at least we hope we get one that says it was successful. I'm going to click OK. So my Finder, I'm going to open up that DO2 Animals, And there are my 4 images. Now it does add an underscore and a number starting with 0, or 4 zeros and an underscore and the name of our layer. And so we get 0000, 0001, 0002. If you wanted, you can come back and rename those and get rid of that underscore and the number and just have elephant.jpg, lion.jpg. I would probably maybe do that before I bring it into my mobile app development software. Unless I wanted to have these appear in this order alphabetically by the numbers rather than alphabetically by the names of the animals. And if I double click on one of these, I'm going to double click on the lion. It should open it into Photoshop, and there's my image as a JPEG. If you'd like to see more videos in the Photoshop Practicum playlist, click the title at the bottom. If you'd like to be alerted to new videos, please click my photo in the top right to subscribe to the channel.